The Puzzler, real name unknown, made his first and only appearance in America's Best Comics number 30, published in 1949. That title's a lie, by the way. The story called The Challenge of the Puzzler featured the Black Terror as the hero. Yeah, that's not a controversial name at all. The story was written and drawn by Ruben Moriera and published by Nigma Comics, a comics company that went out of business in the 1950s. Fawcett Comics bought them, however, but then they of course went out of business too and were bought by Warner Brothers. So I guess DC owns the Puzzler? Oh, how fitting. Anyway, in The Challenge of the Puzzler, we meet the pathetic failure of a criminal attempting to cash in a forged check at a bank. He then overhears the vice president talking to some guards about how one of their vaults closed by accident and now won't open. The man, a self-professed master at puzzles, realizes that this is his chance to prove his strange genius and be rewarded for it, as according to him, getting the vault open would be like solving a puzzle. Bizarrely enough, the vice president agrees and allows the shady-looking stranger tamper with a vault containing millions. After he succeeds at opening it though, the man is given no reward, and is instead, because of his shabby appearance, essentially shooed out of the bank. Bitter and tired of his failures, the man, determined to become rich and famous, thus decides to embark upon a life of supervillainy. He becomes the dreaded puzzler, king of quizzes, master of mindbenders, radical rascal of ridiculous riddles. The puzzler begins a daring crime spree in the city, sending riddles to the Black Terror before each caper. The riddles, containing clues to his crimes, challenges the hero to solve them before the crimes are committed. It's a battle of wits between the terrible Black Terror and the pompous prince of puzzles. That sounds kinda familiar. In the end, the villain sprained his ankle during a fight with the heroes, and that was the end of his criminal career. We haven't seen him since. Probably a punishment for that awful pun he spouted. So, the Riddler having made his 2 Golden Age appearances just 6 months before this, it's pretty obvious they were trying to replicate Eddie Nigma's smashing debut. He wasn't famous enough at the time that they might have gotten away with it. Of course, they also stole the character's name from a Superman rogue, the other Puzzler. That's right, Superman had a puzzle fiend of his own in the 40s, who appeared several years before this one. He was more of a cheater than a quizmaster though. Yeah, what is there to say? They rip off 2 DC villains with this idiot. His costume is also a bit of a rip-off of yet another DC rogue, Crazy Quilt. So what do you think, guys? Do we name the Black Terror's Puzzler as the least original supervillain of all time? I vote for it anyway. Maybe I should make a poll, although I would have to think of other knockoffs first. How about you help me out in the comments? Name some obvious knockoffs and I'll make that poll. So with DC apparently owning Black Terror and the Puzzler, we could potentially get that Riddler versus Puzzler story we've always wanted. Let's throw in Clue Master and Superman's Puzzler as well, and it's the comic event of the year. So there you have it, the Puzzler, the most unnecessary comic book character of all time, which makes this the most unnecessary video of all time. Anyway, as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.